Believe your eyes. From Quebec, right here in Canada, KO himself, Kevin Owens. Placed directly into the Canada stable, of course. Welcome aboard. And we'll get to his agenda soon enough. A couple things first. Pay Alan Hawkins. One of your 6-tag champions. Canadian. So he will receive a well-deserved asked for raise. Every now and then someone asks for a raise, and typically you give it to them, yeah. A sensational 2-division champion. If you remember, in the second half of year 1, he hoisted the Canadian Heavyweight Championship. So, and now, change salary. If you remember, he was just $7 short of making 10 grand a month. So we'll give him the min raise, because again, he's S Trust, so minimum's fine. He's now making fully $10,000+ a month. Let's hope they're worth it, it says. I think he's already proven to be worth it. He's proven pretty sensational. Okay, one more thing before we start to get into the match rundowns is refreshing the merchant goods. Produce merchandise. So, sold out last month. So that first month that we ran the 10,000 venue, we sold around 1,700. So times 3, that's around 5,000. So, since May is the 5th month, right? I think I'm actually going to try producing 5,000 and see if that works out pretty good. Because we're 3,000, I think we sold something like 17 some odd, and then we had 1,200 some odd left over, so we didn't maximize our profit. This might just maximize our profit more effectively. So 5,000, which will last us 3 months. So we should have to look at this for a couple months, although I probably will track the progress. We could ignore it for for a while. Plus our 10% discount from our good friends over at Jumbo Mart. Supermarket that would take an entire day to walk from one end to the other. All right, so we restocked on the goods. And we're ready to arrange the matchups. Let's begin with who's out. The openers from last month, Black Dragon God and Deathblow Ken. If you look at mostly the middle there, pretty discolored. So toll taken by the MMA Mixed Martial Arts Japan rivalry, and they need to rest. As you can see, not only is Black Dragon God in poor condition, but Ken is actually injured from blood loss. So they are out. Will they team up upon being healthy again? Team Terrible may need some fresh opponents. Maybe some well-rested, daisy fresh guys back from a good sleep will give them a challenge. So, also to do with, well, not injury, no, but Shota Jr., as expected, the Irredeemable needs a month off following the Exploder Critical by Big Titan. And Miguel is still recovering from blood loss. But both should be back next event to contest the Junior Championship. And last but not least, hate to do it, apologies to the baronial faithful. But as if to add injury to insult, yes, I reversed that on purpose. Not only did Baron Charles fall to his Pearl Harbor teammate, the Baron will also need rest. Perhaps this is another case of toll taken. The feud with Big Mike, a rather large man, and it was all the Baron could do to heroically go one more for the championship before the body demanded a break. If you recall, the last word on the Baron was another crack at the heavyweight championship is still very much in play. So, not to worry, have patience. So, all told, that's 5 guys out, which is a bit worrisome. That's the most we've had. So it does provoke some cause to produce medical facilities in the training center. I believe we glanced at that before. But some of this is injury related, which is non-typical. Normally guys miss because they just seem to need rest, so let's just not take chances. So this is not a typical thing to have this many guys. So I'm not going to panic at the first sign of it, but rather I'm just going to split the difference and say, if we get this many guys out again, then it is time to address it, because that's a bit much having 5 guys who are not in it. So that covers the sit-outs. Five out of 6 in the 6-tag picture, as Team Canada has thoroughly dominated the rivalry with Jin Dynasty, to the point where it has proven to be a non-rivalry, and it begins to stop making sense to keep running this match. I think we have a pretty healthy sample size on this. We've run it for a full half year, 6 months uninterrupted. And if it's going to be this one-sided, then I think it's time to shake things up. They've been the only 2 justifiable 3-man teams, and so it's kind of this or nothing for the 6-tag titles, but if the outcome is too predictable, then it just seems pointless. So I'd rather shelf the 6-tag until a new team emerges and give these 6 a chance to go in different directions with their careers. Perhaps they remain opponents in some form or forms, just not this exact match over and over. So what does that consist of? Okay, match 1. KO Kevin Owens versus Strongheart. As we look a little closer at Just Keep Fighting, again from Quebec, Canada. Salary quite reasonable down the right side there at $2,400. He fights our True North strong style. And he's got a popularity in America, so he's well known, well liked. Now, trust is D. That's the one thing that's kind of disturbing about this. So that would suggest that maybe he's here for a good time and not a long time. So I'm not sure if I'll be doing much in the near future to augment his trust. So he might be the kind of guy who complains in between events wanting some sort of special treatment or compensation. So we'll find out as we go. For now, he'll be in strong style matches, so we'll see. But starting out at trustee is not encouraging. In any case, maybe he's been WWE heavyweight champion of the world, so maybe it makes sense in a way. Maybe he kind of looks down his nose at us a bit. We're a small promotion compared to what he's used to. So maybe we'll need to prove something to him if he's going to stay, possibly. But while he's here, hopefully we'll get to see some of that finishing move. Pop-up powerbomb. You know Kevin Owens, you've probably seen that, so it's a crowd pleaser. So, you might ask, why Strongheart? This goes back a little ways, but maybe you've had some time to think about it. A while back, in his first appearance, Eddie Owens, Strongheart defeated him. Eddie is our DFW Dramatic Fight Wrestling 2-time guest. And guess what? Eddie is Kevin's cousin. So, although Eddie has American citizenship, they are blood relatives, Eddie and Kevin, who happen to hail from different sides of the Can-Am border, so that still counts. And Kevin is here to take family revenge for his cousin's defeat at the hands of Strongheart. So revenge is a dish kind of best served cold, I guess, because it's been a while since the Eddie Owens Strongheart match. But Kevin's here to take a form of revenge. So that's one member of Jin Dynasty. Match 2. Kenny Omega versus Jin the Trick Prince. This was the process of elimination match after others got settled. So there's less plot intensity to this match, other than Omega has been the leader of the tag team champions, while the Trick Prince has been the 6-tag champ leader. So, former champ leader versus former champ leader, it's something. So to round out the Jin Dynasty singles matches, match 3. Blue Hair versus the Canadian Sensation. The Battle of the Sharpshooters, finally. After several mentions during those 6-tag matches. Now, each applied the sharpshooter in rapid succession in February. So we had dueling sharpshooters. Ultimately, the Sensation got the decision over Blue Hair in that match. And now, one-on-one. Who is the true sharpshooter? So that covers the singles preliminaries. Now we'll get into, unofficially the number one contenders match. There's other guys. Well, it's definitely it's in that range of competing for number one contendership. I'm not going to declare the winner necessarily, but this definitely has that big fight feel, and the winner should be given some serious consideration. So they will definitely move a notch closer to a title shot. And this is a rematch. If we might sort of mentally revisit Wolf Hochfield's title win versus Big Titan in the final of the Canada Day tournament for Canada's Heavyweight Championship. So, not quite a year ago, but Wolf adopted Big Titan's go-to move strategy, go-to move, if that makes sense. He repeated the same move as a gradual wear down, which Big Titan had developed a pattern of doing. So Wolf just sort of used it against him there. And more personally, not once but twice, Wolf used the Exploder Suplex, which is Big Titan's own trademark. So a two-pronged approach there to the Wolf using the Titan's methods against him. And Wolf became your Canadian heavyweight champion. So this match absolutely does feel like a heavyweight championship caliber match. So I would say a testament to the rich talent pool we have here in Canada. And it only got stronger with the addition of the great KO, Kevin Owens. So that is for number one contendership consideration anyway. Let's move on to the actual heavyweight championship match. There's your champ. And it will be Canada's own Big Mike versus American Ted Axel, the $50,000 champion. So why does Mike get the shot and not the guys from match 4 that we just talked about? Well, Big Titan was just beaten by the Wise Man in their only contest. Now, Wolf, he won over Ted Axel back on Halloween. But to be fair, Wolf Hochfield has been out of the singles title mix for a while. He hasn't even fought in singles action for half a year. He's been in the 6 all this time, so I think he should probably have to earn himself back into a title match. So that leads us to Big Mike. He beat the Wise Man, even if it was a year ago. But Big Mike has also been right in the thick of the number one contendership of late. So I think this is the best argument for who should get the shot right now. So that's one title match. So here's the 6. Match 6. There's your champs, of course. Team Terrible. Canada's own stalwart tag team. And Team Satan will challenge again. So as you can see by the match order, I want to run the 5 singles matches in a row. So rather than open with a title match, which seems kind of backward, I think we'll tag the main event and precede it with the heavyweight championship to make it back-to-back title matches, which is fun to finally have this as the main event because the tag team titles have never held the main event slot before. I think one time we had a tag match, but it wasn't for the titles. It's the first time that Canada's tag team championship will be the main event. So I dare say Team Terrible has earned this prestige after everything they've meant to this promotion. And I still don't mind giving the shot to Team Satan, because although they've never beaten Team Terrible, I did enjoy calling the previous bout. Team Satan employed plenty of teamwork, so at least they were doing all they could to make a case. So. And again, former tag champions. So we'll do this one more time. I don't know. If it's kind of feels like the same old result, then we'll think about where to go next with the tag titles. But I feel like I can do this at least one more time. I can live with it. Hopefully you can too. So that's it. Feel okay? Proceed. So you might have noticed I sort of skipped discussing the venue that time. That's because even though we had a sellout projected, I sort of looked ahead and did some figuring, and we've seen a trend lately that my actual attendance has fallen short of capacity. So, well, okay, no, that's true. Like the attendance fell short of projection, right? A couple times in a row. So we trended toward attendance not meeting the projected numbers. So I deliberately went projected wildly over capacity, knowing that we'd lose a few people apparently for some reason. And so when the adjusted projection came back, as you can see in the top right, 9,500. So that's reasonable. So I'm good. Match 1 in May. So Kevin Owens gets to be the very first called down to the ring for this event. So if you're excited for his arrival, you didn't have to wait long for the debut. The downside, though, is putting him on first doesn't do much to improve the D trust. Don't know if being stuck in the opener is something the average wrestler wants, but to be fair, he's a newcomer to this organization. Don't know how fair it would be if I just stuck him in the main event. Just straight to the main event and then bypass some people that maybe you've earned or an opportunity. Anyway, this is where we're at. Strongheart attempts a drop kick. But Kevin's cautious. He may be out for revenge, but he probably has some respect for his opponent. Backdrop, but then it's responded to by a body slam. Elbow to the back of the head. Body slam in return. On the bigger Kevin Owens. He's bigger, but you might say that the athleticism might favor Strongheart. He's a little leaner. So Strongheart goes for some sort of power bomb or something or other. And the power of Kevin Owens escapes it. Into the turnbuckle. Another body slam. So that's a pretty good strategy by Strongheart. Try to use the bigger man's size and weight against him. Oh, we have blood. Strongheart's been busted open, face down on the mat, bleeding all over the Strong Management logo. Another body slam, stomp to the face. Yeah, things are getting a little bit malicious here. As we outlined in the opening, Kevin Owens is not just here to compete, maybe vie for a title. He came after this particular opponent, and he's looking to not just to win a match, but to do some harm. Exchange of strikes ultimately won by Strongheart, however. And into the Strongheart stretch across the Strong Management logo. All things strong here. But here's the blood. Will be the difference here. It's been a pretty even match, I think, so far, but blood loss, in theory, should hamper Strongheart as the match wears on. Rolls into that armbar submission attempt. And more blood. While he's face down, bleeding into the mat, Kevin Owens is ramming his face into the surface with those stomps. Reverse atomic drop. Stomp to the face, stomp to the gut. Again with the atomic drop, but now in motion. Backsplash. Third atomic, reverse atomic drop. And the big man's going to fly. Frog splash. We're 2 into the turnbuckle. Got to be away from the ropes area. Look at all the blood. Death Valley driver as Kevin Owens gets pounded down into Strongheart's own blood that he's left behind. There's more blood. Oh, God. Some sort of chin lock. Reverse chin lock. No. Well, there we go. The fire jumping power bomb. I don't know if that's exactly what Strongheart calls it, but we have a rolling backsplash top rope. The blood is just collecting around the ring. 2 count. Ooh, running British Bulldog power slam. Here's that frog splash again. Using his weight as a weapon, clearly. 2 count again. Not quite 9 minutes. If you remember, as we get a backbreaker there, when Strongheart faced Eddie Owens quite a while back, the match didn't go much longer than this. It was largely a Strongheart exhibition. Eddie put up some degree of fight at some point, but it's pretty one-sided. Maybe if it was a closer match, we wouldn't have Kevin Owens right now. Maybe it's just it was just too much of a humiliation for the Owens family. Kevin is here to set that right, I guess.
10 minutes gone.
10 minutes. Rolling backsplash from the top rope and the frog splash. Put those top rope high flying moves in combination. Frog splash onto the back. Jeez. Oh, Kevin Owens is tiring himself out doing all this punishment. Another rolling arm breaker. DDT just plants and flattens this man. But the diamond cutter in response by Strongheart. It's been a very spirited match. This has not been one-sided the way the previous time Strongheart faced an Owens. And Kevin Owens is a big name in wrestling, not just Canadian wrestling. Series of punches. More blood. Both men are tired. It's been a pretty physical fight. 12.5 minutes. We will exchange strikes again. Strongheart charging up. Drop kick. Kevin Owens with the reverse, the go behind, the reverse. into the half Nelson suplex. Running backsplash, still blood. God, how much blood can one man lose before it just catches up to him? The ring is just getting painted. Strongheart's blood. Diamond cutter into the blood. Back suplex, but he's not clearly not giving up as Strongheart. He's been fighting tooth and claw this whole way. Death Valley driver across. A strong management logo. Blood staining it. 2.9. Strongheart razor close to denying revenge. He goes for the arrogant cover. 2.9. Chop, choppity chop. Oh, low blow. I'm sure Kevin Owens doesn't mind doing that. Because this is personal after all. Fire, jumping, powerbomb. 2.9 again. Wow, how about the resilience of Kevin Owens? He's just triple tough. He's just not going down. But now we have the jackhammer. That's surely got to be it, right? How much more? Apparently there's more. I was going to say, how much more can Kevin Owens endure? Apparently a lot. I mean, he didn't come here to lose, clearly. Is his foot close enough to the ropes? No, it's not. Where is he getting the reserves and the toughness to just keep going with this? So it seemed like this match could have been over a while back. And we saw Kevin Owens breathing heavily, but Strongheart wasn't exactly able to follow up. Maybe he's getting pretty tired too. Both men have got to be exhausted. We've gone over well over 17 minutes, which is long for a singles match. We got that. What was that? Gorilla press into the diamond cutter. And it is still, I wanted to say it has to be over, but apparently it doesn't have to be over. Kevin Owens is like Rocky Balboa. He will not be defeated. He just, no matter how much punishment is laid on, he inflicts some punishment with a running clothesline. If he could ever get some decent offense going, maybe he could steal this. Eats another Death Valley driver. And that's got to be the death of this match, doesn't it? Guess it had to happen sometime. But a bloody freaking affair. I mean, he lost the match, did Kevin Owens, but you might make the case he gained the revenge he was after, at least some degree of it. There was blood all over the place. Finished by the Death Valley bomb, but 100% match evaluation. So, a very, as I said, spirited affair. How many 2.9s? I lost count. And I don't know if this accounts for revenge. This officially qualifies as revenge for Kevin Owens, but he definitely he exacted something. He exacted a lot of blood. Match 2. Now, it has been a while since Kenny Omega fought in singles action. You have to go back before the Canada Day Spectacular, in which he wrestled his tag team partner at the time, Wolf Hockfield. They were members of Team Canada Blue, competing with the terrible team, and they fell out at one point. Had to settle their differences. Since then, Wolf Hockfield went on to compete for the singles championship, while Kenny Omega regrouped and formed a new tag team of his own that he became the leader of. Hasn't been back to singles until now. And he'll be up against someone making their singles debut. For the Trick Prince has only fought in 6-tag. He came to the Canada Wrestling Promotion to form a 3-man team to compete for that new title at the time. So, neither of these guys have seen much singles or none at all. Opportunity to show that they might be deserving of some consideration. Test of strength over the Strong Management logo. Wow. Not sure what to call that. So notice the Trick Prince has been working the knees a bit in this match. Body slam by Best Bout. I think Kenny's nickname might be. Back to the knees though. Here's that one-man gang forward face slam. Oh, we're going to go to the top rope now. Wow. Okay. Kenny counters with the back elbow and then tries, what was that, like a rolling splash from the top rope? Missed, however. Didn't miss with... Had to wait for him to say one of his catchphrases. Anyway. Had a couple opportunities to have some outside the ring brawling, but it just hasn't materialized. Tombstone Piledriver.
5 minutes gone.
5 minutes gone. Informs Maple. Knee to the face. Back body drop from Jin. Well, he was gonna fly. Trick Prince decides he's got other tricks up his sleeve, perhaps. Another tombstone.
Give up. Give up.
DDT by Omega. Side kick. Kick to the side of the head. Working the kicks, the knees. Some combination martial arts striking by the Trick Prince.
Give up. Give up.
Into an arm trap headlock. That kick was just plain super. Into the figure 4 leg lock. Two count. Yeah, normally I'd have a fair amount to yammer on about plot and whatnot, what matches are implicating, but It's really just two guys who aren't normally in singles, and they're fighting in singles. Backflip Superfly, 2.9. This is interesting, at least at the very least within the context of this is the middle match of 3 singles matches featuring the 3-man Jin Dynasty team. Wow. Spinning, sit down, powerbomb, 2.9 as we reach the 10-minute mark. Wow. Flying stomp, coup de grace, I think that might have been called. So we saw the first member of Jin Dynasty successful in match 1. Can the Trick Prince follow that up? Or will we need the third match to decide whether it's an overall successful day for the components of Jin Dynasty? It's one of those backflips off the top rope splash. Victory roll. 2.9. Oof.
1, 2.
That dropping on the head thing.
You can't escape.
Well, you can't escape, apparently. It's such a cool bit of voice acting.
You can't escape.
Wow. Fireman's carry, rolling slam. Oof. Flying knee to the face. Some sort of fisherman brainbuster. Leg trap brainbuster. There's that spinning sit down powerbomb again. Oh, narrowly got the 3. Jin was kicking out like right at the stroke of 3, but just a shade too late.
Bang.
So actually, not only is this a 3-match series of Jin singles competitors, but it's also a series of 3 Canada versus Japan matches. So we had Kevin Owens and Strong Heart, and then Kenny Omega, Jin Kiritani, and then the next one's going to be Blue Hair and the Canadian Sensation. So 97%. This one goes to Canada. And Kenny Omega now evens his singles record. He was 0-1. Now he's got one. So that's cool. Match 3. Battle of the Sharpshooters, in which we will see the singles debut of Blue Hair. Just like we just saw the singles debut of Jin the Trick Prince. Both these guys, these Japanese wrestlers, came over at the same time as components of Jin Dynasty. And embed in 3-man, 6-tag action the whole time. They're both getting their debut in. He's the Loner, is his nickname. This is the first time he's living up to his nickname. So, his opponent, though, this is a tough ask for Blue Hair's debut. The Canadian Sensation, who I think for the most part has only been sensational since coming over here. He's been the heavyweight champion of Canada. He's been a huge part of Team Canada's dominance of the 6-tag. Now he's finally back to singles action. Apologies for the technical difficulties. The match is not showable in the recording that I got out of it. I don't know what happened, but the outcome I approve of, though, because it is the Canada Wrestling promotion, and the Sensation finished with the Northern Light Suplex. We are the true North, strong and free. Match 4. Consideration for the #1 contendership. And this absolutely does have a heavyweight championship feel to it. One-time former champion Wolf Hockfield, now the leader of the 6-man tag team championship of Team Canada. He's up against a former 2-time Canadian heavyweight champion. And he also boasts the greatest individual reign. He had a 2-win, 2-defense reign, 2 title defenses after winning it. And that doesn't count the couple matches he won during the Canada Day tournament, before ultimately dropping that title to this man, Wolf Hockfield. Exciting matchup. Both former champions. Both with the red face paint. Saw a vertical suplex there by Big Titan. Retaliated by the European uppercut, Wolf Hockfield. Double arm suplex. Body slam. Gut stomp. Yeah, because I was going to put Wolf Hockfield in the blue corner, because he's back in his blue, because that's what he wore when he was a singles guy. Body slam, drop kick back of the head. Figure if Big Titan's going to be in the red corner, why not put his alternate red on there? Back suplex folds the Titan in half. Oh, well, I was all set to call the vertical suplex out of the ring, but no, it was reversed by the Wolf, but the Wolf eats another double arm suplex. It's been Big Titan's one of his go-to moves so far, drop kick back to the head. The Wolf eats some elbows and then a leg drop to the back of the head. Back to that European uppercut, floors his man, drags him back toward the middle, applies the half crab. Arm breaker. Early to try for a pinfall, we're only 3 and change. Oh, here's a timely reversal on the vertical suplex out of the ring. But Big Titan's playing the long game. He figures I don't need to pursue. Let me just pace myself, catch his breath, and then he eats body slam, followed by an elbow drop to the face. Big body slam again. Open that body slam using the opponent's weight against him. Back to that double arm suplex. Using it as a wear down. It's a strategy, apparently. Exchange of strikes. Chop, punch, chop, punch. Back to that elbow drop again. Huh. We've had as many double arm suplexes by Big Titan as we've had minutes in this match, practically. Elbow followed by the running leg drop. High impact. Now the Wolf goes to the double arm suplex. More eating of elbows. Not quite a 2 count. It is early still. Shoulder block.
1, 2,
Is that our first 2 count? He slings the wolf bodily out of the ring.
3,
Elbow drop out there, arm breaker.
5,
So we are getting our
7,
out of the ring fighting.
8, 9,
Titan death drop onto the floor.
11,
Again with the elbow drop. Exploder. Suplex into the red corner. Arrogant cover. Pec press cover. There's that exploder again across the Strong Management logo. Shout out to our main sponsor, 2.9. Double arm suplex in reply though by the Wolf. This is that high kick. We'll call it a regal stretch. That's my favorite term for it. Might not be quite accurate to call it that, but I enjoy you. Body slam. Cover 9 minutes in. Just 2. Back. Body drop. Elbow drop. The giant swing. Power on display. Just ragdolling what's a large man too. Super bomb. Choke slam into the sit down power bomb. 2.9 again. Arm breaker. That's a couple 2.9s. Big Titan catching a second win maybe. Gearing up for maybe one last push, which might do it. Flying knee drop. Floors his man with a massive clothesline. Running. Launched from the top rope. Back elbow. The Wolf's got it all going here. Just in a whirlwind now of offense. I might have jinxed Big Titan when I talked about him about to be on the finish. All of a sudden, it's all Wolf here. Big Titan exploits his man in the turnbuckle with a clothesline. It's a back elbow, however. Into the red corner. Here's that super bomb again. Emerging from the turnbuckle with a super bomb. 2.9 only. Giant swing again. This can be a submission hold. 12 minutes in. Big Titan jumps back up to his feet though. Wow, vertical suplex into a type of pile driver. Devastating, but Big Titan's up on his feet. Maybe too soon though. He maybe could have given himself some more rest. He jumps to his feet only to have to breathe heavy just try to recover. Okay, run over was the Wolf. Big Titan not able to follow up. Wolf says you're going down. Back to that regal stretch. Big Titan escapes. Titan death drop. Not quite ready for the cover yet. He's had enough 2.9s. He figures I want to make sure of it this time before I bother to get the pin. Oh, counter. Wolf counters with the exploder of his own. I say counter because it's supposed to be Big Titan's finisher. Back to the giant swing. Should have been flung out of the ring altogether, but vertical suplex brings his man back toward the middle. We approach 15 minutes. Does feel like this is anyone's contest. Big Titan executes a vertical suplex of his own. Tired though. This is rough work. 2 big men. Elbow death drop. Flying, running drop kick. But there's the exploder. Pulls it out of nowhere.
1, 2,
As we hit 16 minutes. Oh, we don't hit a 3 count though. 2.9. Off the ropes. Irish whip into the spear. Running spear. Just Goldberg style. 3 count. Wolf just he kicks out a fraction of a second too late. Well, Big Titan had the 2.9s, but Wolf Hockfield came on strong, and I thought the Wolf was stealing this back. But then there's that spear. Titan spear for the finisher. You hear the raucous Canadian crowd cheering, probably not just for Big Titan, but for, it was a good match of Canada versus Canada. And Wolf Hockfield perhaps a touch rusty, being out of the singles for a while. Big Titan looks like he's still at the top of his game, able to weather the storm. And it was a heck of a match, 91. So, Big Titan gets the equalizer in this series anyway, such as it is. It's only the second match versus Wolf Hockfield. After losing the Canada Day tournament final, did Big Titan to the Wolf. But hopefully these two good, wholesome Canadian boys can shake hands, call it even, and say, now equals. Maybe someday we'll do this again for the Canadian Heavyweight Championship. And speaking of the championship, that is next. Match 5 for Canada's Heavyweight Championship. Here is your challenger, Big Mike, after 2 memorable number 1 contender matches with the Baron Charles, seeking to get back on top of this promotion. Ted Axel, seeking the rematch victory against someone he lost against. And it is for Canada's Heavyweight Championship. The $50,000 champion, Ted Axel, goes for the dropkick. Big Mike retaliates with a snapmare. Body slam. Use the bigger man's weight against him. And Ted Axel's not a scrawny wimp by any means either. He's a very fit individual. Arrogant cover, the one-footed arrogant cover. Snapmare again. Wow, okay. Looked like Ted Axel was going for a dropkick and counter strike by Big Mike. And he reverses into the turnbuckle. Another reversal. These two men battling for the upper hand in the turnbuckle situation. And Big Mike just hurls his man out of the ring. But I guess that was just to make a point. He's not trying to be out there. Back in that turnbuckle again. The wise man works his way out of there. At least looked like he was going to. With working on the arm and now the leg. There he is again, working the limbs. It's one of Ted Axel's core strategies. Dismantle the appendages. Trading strikes now, ultimately won by Big Mike. A big Boston Crab. Body slam. Ooh. Takes advantage of the dazed Ted Axel to land that spinning back fist with a dragon screw leg whip in return by the $50,000 champion. Vertical suplex out of the ring, and the champion is in pursuit.
2, 3,
Only to eat a hard chop across the chest.
5, 6,
Wow. Flying kick to the side of the head.
8,
Rather agile is Big Mike. Seems that Big Mike is more agile than you'd think for a big man. Ted Axel is stronger than you'd think for a more medium-sized guy. Two very well-rounded competitors, fittingly fighting for the championship. Drop kick down low. Interesting takedown. Knockdown. Yeah, the first was a knockdown. The drop kick was a knockdown. Dragon screw was a takedown. See the terminology. Back fist. Spinning back fist. And Big Mike then follows it up with a delayed vertical suplex. Two can play that game. I can delay my call. Okay. Sets his man up to the top rope. Wow. Big Mike put the challenger to the top rope in order to set up the Torture Valley driver. Now a German suplex 2.9. We're not even 7 minutes in. Impressive combination of moves there by the challenger. Ted Axel's going back to the arm there. Oh, looks like Big Mike tried to escape the range of that dropkick, but he just barely got caught by the end of it. Body slam. Knee drop to the legs. Now working the arm. See that? There it is again. Working the limbs. Where are the guy's individual body parts down? Falcon arrow. You're in the ropes, however. Elegant bomb. Haven't seen that in a while, have we? But it was in the ropes again, so. A little backbreaker submission. $50,000 backbreaker. As we brawl on the Strong Management logo, shout out to our main sponsor. The champ eats some elbows and then the deadlift. Back suplex. It's like a release German suplex, right?
Come on.
Come on, Big Mike is feeling it. He's asking for the crowd to get behind him. It's a Canadian crowd. With double arms, sit down, powerbomb, 2.9. As Maple lets us know we're at the 10-minute mark. Each man has had a 2.9 so far. Anybody's match, anybody's title. Ted Axel wags his fingers and say, no, it's not anyone's championship, it's my championship. Big Mike is pumped though. Catches his breath before going in motion, before cranking the guy with the clothesline, floors the champion. 2.9. Combination striking. Flattens the champion again. Both men wavering. It's been a pretty intense 11 and a half minutes. As we get an exchange of strikes, both men worn down, beaten down. Wise Man brings the action back to the center though. Superman punch. Running kick to the ribs, I guess. Falcon arrow, but are we in the ropes again? Yes. But there's the elegant bomb. We're not in the ropes this time. Big Mike, who won his first championship with his signature move, and now to become the only three-time Canadian heavyweight champion. Too big, too strong, too Canadian was Big Mike. We have a new champion. And are you thinking what I'm thinking? I mean, no disrespect to Ted Axel. He's been an admirable champion for his time, the time he's spent. But how do you not think ahead? And are you thinking what I'm thinking? Who was Big Mike supposed to fight for a third time? A third and decisive time? The two men battled over the #1 contendership. And it's only fitting, I think, that they should settle the rivalry for Canada's heavyweight championship. So it's all but carved in stone. I think we can just about promise it, barring something unexpected. Next event. The Baron Charles should face Big Mike for Canada's heavyweight championship. I think Ted Axel's title reign was decent. It was worthy. He proved it was no fluke. It was no joke. He's an evolved competitor who wasn't great in the beginning. He's a bona fide, legitimate top wrestler now. But on this day, Big Mike was too much. And we have a new Canada's heavyweight champion. The 6th and final match. The main event. Second of 2 title matches. This one, like I said before, first time the tag titles are the main event. Canada's Tag Team Championship. As we look at the former champions, you might recall they won it on Halloween. But it was not against this team they're about to face. When they lost the titles, pretty much right away, like in November, I believe it was, they lost it back immediately to Team Terrible, which, you know, sooner or later you can. If you want to be a tag team in this organization and be successful, you can't avoid these guys forever. They'll be coming for those titles if they don't already have them. Team Terrible, Jason and the Bear, the Canadian Tag Team Champions. Bear hug, fittingly. Fun way to start this matchup. Goes for the Chicago Bears football charge. But Stanley Adams finally has the upper hand. So arm trap choke. Eye rake, which is definitely one of Satan's General's go-to moves. Boot. Definitely a good idea to try to get the Bear off his game any which way you can. Cheat if you must. Slap. Paw slap across the head. Jeez. Surprise roll up, surprising nobody. At 2.5 minutes. Team up, clothesline. So now Team Satan. This is what we saw from them last time. We need to see more of it. The double team. To take advantage of these 2-on-1 situations as best you can. You have to. Team Terrible, too strong, too tough to be taken lightly. Body slam out of the ring.
1.
Will Stewart has got the power but doesn't follow it up. Back in the center of the ring. The foot soldier laying across the strong management advertisement. One man gang slam. Reversal on the vertical suplex.
5 minutes gone.
Bear going to that arm trap choke. Camera pans over to Stanley Adams because yeah, it's early, but we've seen some early finishes from the Bear with these submission holds. So an eye on Stanley to see if he might rush in and break up that submission attempt. So 2-on-1 to the corner there. So the Bear's getting worked over, but Terrible Ted boots his way out of trouble. Satan's general goes for a power move but gets overpowered by the superior size and strength of Terrible Ted, who goes back to the Bear hug. Just sit on the Bear. Have a pretty comfortable seating, I suppose, with all that fur. Don't know if it's going to get you any closer to a tag title. Terrible Ted trips his opponent down. Foot Soldier replies with an Irish whip, but Terrible Ted is just too strong to be Bear handled. And the shoulder block, no effect. The Bear's too big. Body slams Jason into the corner. Vertical suplex slam. And punches Jason squarely in the mug, but it is armored up by the hockey face mask. Double team on the back suplex. Apologies, I'm pondering the future of this division. Should it be the same result that we've been seeing? As I touched on it, I guess I should talk about it. Although I enjoy this rivalry, I like Team Satan. I feel like they could have a chance, especially with Will Stewart being the power merchant that he is. If we don't see much of a different result here, then Team Terrible is going to be looking for some new or at least different competition. So pressure's on, Team Satan. You want to stay in this mix. Better show something here. Well, Tombstone Piledriver, that's something. Break a guy's damn neck. It's one way for the Foot Soldier to make a point. But Jason the Terrible comes back with that jumping hockey mask headbutt. Tombstone again. Straight up punch to the hockey mask. We're in the Terrible corner, though. Not a good place to be, generally. And the Foot Soldier is wisely fleeing from there and seeking out help. Tags out to Satan's General. And they're both in pursuit of Terrible Ted, trying to take advantage of the 2-on-1 situation. So we got that guillotine choke, but we are in the ropes. So for now, at least, Team Satan avoids it. And there's that ball shot. I think that Satan's general would do that at every opportunity here. Definitely want to... Well... Too few and far between on the fouls, maybe, for Team Satan to get much traction in this match. It went 14 minutes. It's not as... not as premature as some finishes have been for the terrible team, but outcome never really in doubt. I think, I guess both sides had offense, but you have to favor Team Terrible unless you're seeing something to suggest the wind's blowing the other way, because Ted has a way of putting an abrupt end to these matches, and it's no different this time. So yeah, we'll definitely have to go back to the drawing board on this division. Like I said, maybe Team MMA Japan reforms after a series of singles matches, and maybe they need to try to take another shot at these titles. We'll see. For now, though, Team Terrible, predictably, still Canada's Tag Team Champions. So, match evaluation not the best there at the end, 75, but we had such a string of good matches. Everything was 90 or over. Now look at that in top right, our average card rating over 90% despite a bit of an unspectacular main event. So in retrospect, if you remember back in the intro, I was saying I don't really want to put the tag match at the beginning because it's for a title. And that turned out to be the lowest match evaluation. I should have stuck that match at the beginning. Oh. Anyway. What matters is it's still a great success with that average card rating very high. Income over 600,000. Profit well over 400,000. So there we go. Assets. We're now in the 3 million plus range. So in addition to having a 3-time Canadian heavyweight champion and forecasting a third match between Big Mike and Baron Charles for that title, we also have 3 million plus in assets. So I could end it here, except that I just want to get the good news on the injury report. So we have a couple of releases to announce. Ken, after suffering significant blood loss, he's been cleared. I guess he's had like a transfusion or whatever, or just given enough time for the heart to get the blood properly generating again throughout the system. And Deathblow is ready to return. As is Miguel, who was out for much longer due to insane amount of blood loss. And he should be back to presumably challenge for the Junior Championship of Canada, the next event. So look forward to a healthy roster next time. And that's probably it. So join me next time.